I wasn't going to do another video about the PW50 until we got our living situation resolved. Where we're going to stay in the future is really in limbo, and we've got a lot of irons in the fire as far as that goes, and I wanted to put the PW50 on the back burner for a little while, but I couldn't help myself. It's summertime, it's motorcycle season, and I can't just have a project that's staring me in the face all day, every day, go untouched. We've got most of the stuff moved from this house to either storage or where we plan to live if we move out of here. I don't have most of my tools. I don't even have a place for my empty Coke cans. But I want to see if I can make some progress on this, and hopefully you'll come along for the ride. It might be disjointed, I might not have everything I need, I might use a hammer where I need to use tweezers, but it should be interesting. When we left off last time, my boy had given this thing the old kindergarten try over 200 times trying to start it. It ran sporadically, but it wouldn't run continuously, and it was really frustrating. It would act like it was running lean, then it would act like it was running rich. At the end of that video, I had decided that the problem was a clogged up fuel line, either the fuel filter in this valve or some trash in the gas tank. I cleaned all that up, hoping that after that was done, the engine would light up and run perfectly. It wasn't that simple. It still doesn't run right. Once in every 30 kicks and blue moons, it will start up and run, but it's not right. I'll give it a try just because we're filming here. Okay, so it kind of made a liar out of me, but the fact is it doesn't run right. Why did it start at the first kick? Anyway, it doesn't idle, it doesn't run right. I've had enough junky motorcycles to know when they're right and when they're not. Long story, not as long. I dug into this thing a little bit more, and I found kind of a grave problem. I went and tinkered on this after we got done filming that last video, and come over here, camera girl, and let me show you and the viewers what I've found. To suck air and fuel into the engine, the crankcase has to be sealed so that all of the negative pressure created by the rising piston is exerted through this tube and ultimately through the carburetor venturi, sucking the correct amount of gas and air mixture into the carburetor. If there's any leak, it won't run right. It can leak in a number of places. You can have a vacuum leak here, or maybe here where the reed block bolts to the engine. But unfortunately, if you look closely here, I have a very loose main bearing. Where the shaft goes into the engine, there's a seal. It seals oil and air inside the engine. If this main bearing starts to get loose, that seal will leak, and because it wobbles, sometimes it seals up like we just witnessed, and the engine kind of runs even though it won't idle, but then sometimes I can kick it 100 times with no positive effect. If you guys know anything about engines, this is bad news. I would venture to say this is catastrophic. This means that the motor was run without oil or some other really negligent activity was done with this engine. So that's kind of the bad news, and I have to really make a choice here. Sorry I'm going over time. I'm doing this live. So the crossroads here is I'm into this thing pretty heavy now. I paid $175 for the motorcycle, but my total investment is getting up there. To buy a new main bearing also means probably or maybe buying a new crankshaft, because if the main bearing is bad, there's a good chance the rod is on its way out too, the rod bearing. While I'm in there, I might as well do a new piston and rings as well. You guys saw that the piston was scraped up on the underside. Bottom line, I'd be into this thing $200 more. All said and done, I'd be lucky if my final cost was less than $650. That's not too bad because it would be a practically new engine, but I wasn't ready to pull the trigger. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I might as well buy another motorcycle that runs already, supposedly. See, here's the thing, and I don't mean to waste your time. Even though I paid $175 for this and I'm into it probably around 400, or probably around 400, even though the engine is bad and that's kind of a bad deal, there's a good chance that when you buy one that supposedly runs good, the engine could be on its way out. So I don't feel too bad about it. It's a risk whenever you buy a used motorcycle or a used machine at all. Luckily I got this one cheap enough that when it's all said and done, I'll be into it for a reasonable price. Just too bad it's not a steal of a deal. Moving on. This weekend we went to the Japanese motorcycle show and swap meet. I bought for $40. You tell me if this is a good deal or not. Jennifer said I should have paid $30. And I genuinely feel bad because I feel like I've let down my family. But I paid $40 for this tub of PW50 parts. We've got a head that's junk, we've got a swing arm side, a cylinder that may or may not be usable, a couple carburetor bodies, classic duckbill platypus Y-Zinger front fender, drive shaft pinion, miscellaneous items, and this is the big ticket. A bottom end for a PW50. It's been sitting out in the weather for a while, but the good news is when we come over here, it feels like we've got a rock solid main bearing. I can feel the slightest amount of play, but I'm pretty sure that's just the play between the flywheel and the shaft because this is loose. So today, what we're going to do is pull apart. What did you just say? What should I do? Instead of let's get started,
why don't you upload this tonight?
Upload this tonight. So
it's a tease.
It's not a tease. This is a serial program. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow.
That's optimistic.
Oh right, because she's going to buy her Nintendo Switch tomorrow. Or for her birthday, I'm going to try to get her a Nintendo Switch. I don't even know really how that works. It looks like an iPad with wings or something.
That's pretty much it.
With handles. Love handles.
It's got love handles.
So, but no, I'm going to spend as much money on your gadget lust as I have into the PW50. What's the better deal? It doesn't matter. They're both good deals.
It makes us happy.
If they bring enjoyment to the end user. So, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.